Yeah, well, thank you for finding us.
October 17th, 2024.
So what you'll see is it's kind of a different meeting today. Summertime, and as we transition out, we've had a whole bunch of people who weren't able to attend. We had weddings, someone getting some last minute golf in, and just usually the room is more stacked than this, but we have a good group today. So I'm the president of River City's Toastmaster, and I'm also filling, because we have limited people today, the Toastmaster role. So the Toastmaster helps to facilitate the meeting and move from one section to the next. And we have agendas, which I think everyone has in front of them.
No, there was only 3 up here.
Yeah, looks like everyone's got.
Okay.
I have an old one. I'll just kind of, I can put it on my
Peggy,
phone.
just a sound check. Are you hearing us okay? Or hearing me okay? All right, perfect. So Peggy here is usually in person, but she devotes some of her time of the year in Texas and here, but we didn't want to lose her. She's been with this club for 20 years or so, maybe 23. So thank you for making the effort to sign in down in Texas. So how am I doing on time? Are we, I should have.
12:05.
Yeah.
12:05, okay.
Well,
So a few updates before we move into the meeting. We've been busy doing speechcraft sessions. Catherine and I have been leading speechcraft, and we just concluded at the American Red Cross. So we went out to them, and Ben joined us one session, and we did a mini version of Toastmasters, basically. All the nuts and bolts, they got a chance to stand up and talk and go through some speeches. They got critiqued and got to evaluate each other. It was pretty fun. We had some really great table topic sessions and some really informative and entertaining speakers. So I'll kind of miss it. I don't know about you, Catherine.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so we had Joseph G. We'll call him. He's with another Toastmasters organization. He joined us last week, and he's been helping share some ideas with this club. He came last month when I wasn't here, so that was Joe. He came and did a guest speech at our Red Cross speech.
How many participants?
We started with 5, and then the hurricanes rolled through. So we tried to do this probably 2 months ago for them. And same thing, they had some local stuff they were dealing with.
Zachariah participate?
Zachariah did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He was really the organizer. He corralled people who we thought would benefit from it and people that are in the public light a little bit just to get them familiar.
Oh, he's the executive director, so he.
Yeah. Okay. So he kind of.
But they volunteered. They said they volunteered.
They did. Yep. He suggested it to them,
Yep.
and they did. They stepped up and said, "Yep, I want to learn about Toastmasters," and
it was awesome.
Course. Yeah, in just the 4 weeks, it was tremendous progress. I don't know about you, but
I felt like they were my kids, and I was so proud.
I know. When they were giving their final speech, they were even kind of sad to see it go. So we told them, hey, I know there's more people, because it was limited. We limited the attendance to 5 people. They had more people sign up, so I think they want to have a repeat, and either between us or the morning nights Toastmasters, we might be able to support future sessions. So that's the speechcraft we've been doing, Catherine and I, and Ben's help. And then Ben and Susan did a speechcraft for Stand With Me. And for those of you who were here last month with the service dog, they train dogs to be paired with veterans in the community. And just like the Red Cross, they're out in front of the public and talking about their program and trying to get support. So their executive director reached out and said, hey, we were looking at paying for training, but then we ran across Toastmasters, so we offered up speechcraft to them. And Ben and Susan conducted the first session probably 2 weeks ago, and then Monday is their next one. They're a little bit more spaced out than the Red Cross ones, but I think you guys had 3 people in attendance?
We just had 3. There's a promise that there are other ones that want to come along.
Yeah, so.
And the thing is, with the Red Cross, if the boss asks you to come, you feel obligated. In a volunteer group like Stand With Me, not so much pressure to show up, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and interestingly enough, the next session, they have volunteers at the Red Cross that would like to take this, be involved in this. So if it's an opportunity, even that Stand By Me With Me could offer to volunteers, that'd be kind of cool if there were enough.
Yeah. So
This is their volunteers, there's only one paid employee in the organization.
Okay.
That's Murph.
Oh,
and Murph was the one that was.
okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The other one is the one that reached out to me that I connected you with.
Right.
She's no longer an employee because they ran out of funding.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
The event
She works at-
director,
Megan
event, like
She works at
event.
Cornell.
Yeah.
But they had one woman who is, she's on the board, and she also does a lot of counseling for the veterans. And then they actually had one of the veterans there that I thought it was, you said there was a lot of progress with your group. These are individuals that have PTSD. So speaking in front of a group is uncomfortable for them. And the one gentleman was talking about the fact that he has a difficult time speaking, but I got him to talk about something that was of interest to him. There was not one but, so, or anything. I said, look, he just did it. And he was like so proud of himself.
Yeah.
So
It's really fun. It's
this
pretty-
next meeting, they're all gonna do an icebreaker. So that should be interesting too. And I think probably more people would show up. But,
Great. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Did you have any other impressions from our
Oh,
session as we?
I enjoyed it. It was good to get to know the people and see the progress, as you say. No, I was just doing that because there are some roles that we haven't filled, and I was going to ask for some
Yeah,
volunteers.
let's do that. Sounds good.
Would any? Oh,
Good. I did contact Zachariah because of the hurricane situation. I know how important it is for them to let what they do be known. I asked him if he wanted to be a guest on my radio show. He hasn't gotten back with me. I just left a message.
Okay.
But I figured him being an experienced speaker now,
Yes.
he might want to use that opportunity.
He did miss the last session, so we're holding him to it. We'll make him do his final speech, but he was sick, so he's been out of the office for a few days. So, yeah, thank you for offering that up. So meeting roles.
right.
We
So we
had to
didn't.
shuffle the schedule a little bit today. So.
Yeah. So we didn't get all of the roles filled. Greg, what were you going to do? We've got.
I signed up for Toastmaster, but.
Oh, okay. So I should have asked you that before this. Sorry. Okay. Well, so we have a couple roles still open. We have timer,
Sure.
general evaluator, and an counter.
There we go.
You want to be timer?
And I can do something else.
Does anybody else? So counter is somebody who counts.
And I think Peggy has a question, or?
Yes, Peggy?
Yeah, after I saw your agenda, I went in and signed up for on-camera, or whatever you need.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that the last time before I did the agenda. Okay. All right, so Peggy can do the counting. That's all kind of filler words. And then you're doing timer because you got the colored sheets. Okay. Would anybody like to be general evaluator? I could have asked that before we started.
I signed that too, but unless
Or
somebody else wants to
Ben,
do
do you
it.
feel up to it?
I'm up to it. I can
Okay.
speak.
Okay, thank you. And Jeremy and I are gonna do some talks. We discussed it and said we didn't really need to have evaluators unless people want to give some evaluations, because I was just running out of people to assign. And I came with a word for the day.
Ooh.
And unless anybody just happens to want to be the word of the day person, I can do that role.
Go
All right.
Okay.
I think you should do word of the day.
Did somebody?
Oh, okay.
Well,
You're
Did you have
going
one?
to read
Well,
it. Great.
Okay.
then I can do another.
I saw you.
I mean, I just.
All right.
Oh, no.
No, I can. We could sign you up for next month if you want, one of you guys. So then you have time to prepare the definition, the word.
Yeah, I'll do
if
it.
you'd like.
I'll do it for the next one.
Okay.
He's ready now.
I was thinking about this.
What does that mean?
He has a word of the day.
Yeah.
You'd like to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll save this for another time.
He perfectly said please.
Okay.
Word of the day.
Favorite words. Exacerbate. To make something bad even worse.
That one I always get the spelling wrong. So
Did you
how do
do
you?
that one, Peggy?
I did, but can you spell it?
And I spell it.
Just like it sounds.
I can look it up.
E-X-A-C. I have to write it down.
Is it
Want me to
PR?
tell you?
That's exactly it. E-X-A-C-E-R-B-A-T-E.
I think I read that word a lot in a lot of the books I read, so
Exacerbate. Okay.
I see it a lot.
Good
Okay.
one, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So
And then-
I think we're good then on roles, right?
Yes, and then you can count the number of times different people use it,
Okay,
so we can have the no prize available at the end, but bragging rights is what somebody would get. Ben's usually in the running way out ahead of a lot of us, so. Okay. What's that? No comments from the peanut gallery. Okay. Okay, so now I think we're,
Good.
I'm
So,
going back
so
and forth.
Ben is general evaluator. Would you describe for the room and as a reminder to everyone what that role entails and who the people are that are helping to support you?
Absolutely. I'd be
You can
more than
wing it.
willing to do that. My role as general evaluator typically falls at the end of the meeting, and I analyze the entire meeting to see how well it went and if we were comfortable, if the lighting was correct, and how everybody did with their speeches and things. We also have an evaluation team. The timer is going to be Greg, who says he wanted to be timer. Grammarian and word of the day must be Catherine because, no, your word of the day with exasperate. I was exasperated just thinking.
Exasperate.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Did I not say
I
that?
thought you said exasperate.
Yeah, it's all in how you spell it.
He's our comic.
Exacerbated. Okay. Counter, it's Peggy. Peggy's going to be counter. And we don't have evaluators because we're not going to evaluate, but if anybody wants to evaluate somebody, it's all a learning process. So we're all going to analyze people's proficiency.
Okay,
That is on my list, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
thank you.
Thank you, Ben. So at this point in the meeting, usually sorry Peggy, I'm trying not to block the camera, so I'm standing off to the side. At this point of the meeting, we would usually introduce the guest speakers and do an intro, describe a little bit about the talk, but it's limited people today, so Catherine and I thought we would share some Toastmasters educational materials, and Catherine will lead it off, and then I have a follow-up conversation to pick up where she left off.
And how long are your talks today?
So I put in the agenda 2 to 3 minutes, so let's go with that. If it goes a little longer, I didn't practice it, so.
We'll do 3, so 2.5, 3, and 3.5? Or
Yeah, that sounds good.
3, 4?
2.5 to 3.5, so 2.5, 3, and 3.5. So we have the yellow, the green will be at 2.5, then the yellow at 3, and then the red at 3.5. Technically, if we were in a contest, we could go
30 seconds.
30 seconds shorter than our speech is designed to take, and 30 seconds longer and still be valid or legal or whatever. I want to get that part in there. Okay. So one of the things as the VP of engineering, sorry, I just promoted myself and I am. One of the things that have VP of education is that I'm supposed to ask people if they want a mentor. That's one of my jobs. So if anybody does want a mentor, I'm a few months late in asking, but if anybody does want to mentor, please let me know. You can email me, text me, send smoke signals, and I'll set that up. Most people have been a member for longer than I have, but we do have people that are available that have a lot of Toastmasters experience and are willing to be mentors. So if you do want that, please let me know. Also, I'd ask that after we talk about Pathways today, which is an education program, Kristen, that guys that Toastmasters has created in several different areas, which just now some of those topics have changed. So these paths are different topics, and I'm going to go over the different types that you can do. And there's a ton of learning opportunities in there where you can give speeches, and there's a lot of information available and coaching, things like that. And it's designed to help you improve in different areas. So it's pretty cool. Jeremy he can talk about how far he is. Is there anybody else that's registered for Pathways yet?
Greg did the predecessor.
Yeah.
Didn't you? What was that program called?
Pathways.
Oh, it was Pathways then too. Well, okay.
No, the predecessor was Competent Speaker. And
Yeah,
it was a
that's
book, and you had 10 assignments.
Okay.
And so you would go through those 10 assignments. Pathways you kind of put in what your preferences are, and it guides you on the path and assigns tasks for you based on what you want to work on.
So are you enrolled right now in that? Is anybody
I signed
enrolled?
up for it and it gave me, but I haven't signed on.
Okay, yeah, no pressure, I'm just wondering, the last report I got didn't have anybody listed other than Jeremy, so I wanted to ask, now that we have a club coach, he's coaching and giving us lots of,
Unwanted advice.
no, he's giving us lots of opportunities to learn and to grow, I'll say it like that. So,
What's in it for him?
well, he gets graded, so to speak. So he does, there are some things. We've got our first, what did he call it? Report. We got our first report. So he is there to help us if we need, like the one time he came in last month, he was our Toastmaster. Jeremy was gone and he's the one we usually, can you be Toastmaster? He is a Toastmaster. He's gotten some awards, I guess, since he does have a list of things that he's supposed to do. One of the things we didn't do yet, and maybe I'll just mail it to people, is there's this list of things, 10 items, although some of them have sub-items, of how you can get to be a distinguished club. I'm not sure we're going to make it this year. It kind of depends on how you classify some of the things. But there are things like growing membership. They like to get a membership at 20. We're technically now at 12. They like to have people grow 3 from the prior year. We were at 15 or 13 last year. So they want us to grow by 3 before the end of the Toastmasters year, which is the end of June. They'd like to have us do that. There are some criteria that you can get a yay, a check mark, by having people go through pathways. So there are some things like that, and he has to provide reports to Toastmasters. So it is nice. He has helped us out, when he came in as a guest speaker last minute. That was kind of fun. So anyway, I'm going to read off of this for all I will send it out so you don't have to take notes. You can listen. I copied this right from Toastmasters somewhere. So some of you may already know it, but it is a learning experience that it's interactive, as Greg had said, and it's flexible, that it was created to help us strengthen our communication and speaking and leadership skills. So there are opportunities to build more than 300 unique skill sets, which is kind of cool. I don't think I could name 20 if I had to, unless I cheated. There are 6 specialized learning paths. They just changed some of these. Then I thought of you because one of the 6 is engaging humor. You're already really good at that, but that might be, you had said you've been inspired by, I'm going to go way over my time, because we're having interactive stuff. Yeah, because you said you were inspired by Jeremy, but that might be a neat one for you to consider. Dynamic leadership, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, and visionary communication. So you can earn digital badges where every time you finish a path in one of these, you get a little digital badge, and I believe I'm supposed to be notified. Peggy, I don't know if you were ever notified of any of Jeremy's, and then I don't know, I click something or check something or give you something. I'll figure that out when it comes. I'm new at this, so yeah.
Captain, there are 2 different things you have to do. So,
Okay, yeah, but I'll get notified and I'll get nudged to do them, so there would be nothing better, I guess, than if people were making me really busy with that kind of stuff. There are also some certificates that you get. One thing that would be really cool, I guess you're probably the boss of your company, so maybe this wouldn't matter so much, but there are letters. You can get employer letters from Toastmaster to your employer when you pass, I'll say, that can be requested when you complete level 3, 4, and 5. So they start at 1, but if you complete the first 2 levels, that'd be pretty cool. If I were still working, I think it'd be cool to have one of those letters and tell my manager he should give me a higher appraisal. So there's also, you can get a celebratory email from the international president when you complete a path.
Ooh.
Yeah, ooh, ah. So for those of you who might like to hang stuff on your walls or whatever.
Susan, you can actually, if you're looking for a job too, post it on LinkedIn. It shows continued education.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And there is a Pathways Mentor Program, so if you want to be a mentor, you can get some of those skills by going through the paths. There's the awards, the Distinguished Toastmaster, and there are some requirements for that, which I won't go through now. You can read it when I send this out. And then the Distinguished Club Program that I mentioned at the beginning, there are a whole bunch of opportunities that you have, and if you check a bunch of boxes, then you can get there. So, not sure if we will get there or not, but we are working closely with Joe G to see how many of those boxes we can check. And some of that is getting, like one of the easiest ones is to get membership fees in on time. And I think we did need that, and get an officer listing. I think you did that, so we got a check mark. I was so excited about that. Anyway, does anybody have any questions on that quick path through Pathways? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
I am going to be talking about my experience with Pathways and hopefully sharing my screen.
How long are you going?
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
It's also not really not planned out, a planned speech, which is kind of getting to the point of my talk. So it's not a planned speech, it's conversational, and questions are okay. But I'll shoot for about 5 minutes.
So do you want 4, 5, and 6, or you want?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you.
Chairman?
Do you want to put it in slideshow mode?
Yeah.
Yes, Peggy?
Yes, Peggy.
Can I ask you if you just tip it down? I see half the screen is the ceiling.
Oh, interesting. Half the screen is the ceiling?
Oh, your camera.
Oh, no, I'm kneeling down.
No,
Is that-
but I'm saying, I only see the table, I see the people's towards, there you go, perfect, okay.
Okay. Did my PowerPoint show up on yours? It did, okay.
For some reason, the
Yeah, I put it in presentation mode on my laptop, but it, all right, I think.
Oh, we
You
can, that's
guys can see
fine.
okay? All right.
Yeah.
So thanks again for dealing with the technology issues today. This was kind of on the fly, and I put some slides together on the fly as well. I talked about in the past some of the reasons why I joined Toastmasters, and one of it was because I had recently transitioned my role in my military organization from the enlisted role that I had to an officer role. And thank you, I heard your son is a West Point soon-to-be graduate, so he's very impressed with me. Yeah, so I knew as I transitioned my role, I'd have more opportunities to speak in front of people, and I had a big presentation that I was preparing for about 9 months out, so I decided, why don't I come to a Toastmasters meeting and learn some new skills so I can be more comfortable with people and briefing, next level up from me. So that's why I joined Toastmasters. When I joined, I was looking for structure and format, and I learned about Pathways through that discovery. And I'm not really a joiner of organizations and things, so to join Toastmasters was a bit of a commitment on my part because I have so much going on the outside. And then when I decided to enroll in this Pathways thing, I'm thinking to myself, is this the Toastmasters upsell? Like, what is this all about? I got a free version of it apparently with my membership. So I was looking for something to do with some structure and also to create opportunities to talk in front of our group and have the feedback to help prep me for that big presentation I was leading up to. So that's how I got involved with Pathways, and in particular, I picked this presentation mastery one. What I wanted to talk about today is sort of the requirements of what that was, so you can see what the Pathways are all about, speech selection, how and why I chose the speeches I did to talk about, and then the culmination of all of this is a final project, and I started to put things in motion to achieve my final project. So more to come on all that stuff, but here is, it might not work like this. There might be a delay, Peggy, for transitioning.
Do you want me to play like that or something?
Let's see. Sorry for the delay here.
Just mouse on the number
Yeah,
two.
the mouse went
Yeah.
away. It's,
Oh,
oh, okay. All right, this is good enough. It's kind of small print on this screen because it's
Can I change that? Can we
Yeah,
just-
yeah, go for
or
it.
Can you, Don, what if you do that? We don't need to say ourselves, okay?
Yeah,
Maybe if you, or it doesn't work?
It doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I lose the mouse.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really convenient to set up. Usually we're much more prepared.
And we can send this out also,
I'll send
right?
this out,
Yeah.
absolutely. What you're seeing is 5 levels that Catherine spoke about as you progress through different levels. And you said something interesting in your speech when, or if I wasn't still working, you very much are still working on this. Toastmasters is like a full-time job for you at this point.
It's more than you sold me on.
But, so the upsell, when you're involved in the pathways, you progress through these different categories. There's 5 of them. The highlighted ones are the ones that I selected to do. So in sessions 1 and 2, or categories 1 and 2, you have to do everything in there. So that was like 7 speeches. I talked a lot in front of this group, and I'm reflecting back on it now. Thank you for putting up with all this stuff. But I was going through these pathways, or all these steps, and it told me what I had to do. I watched a video. It gave you suggestions. It gave you the structure. So it really helped to drive me in the right direction. By the time I got to level 3, that big block in the middle there, I had more opportunity to pick and choose. And then in number 4 here, it was probably the most fun speech I gave with the disruptors, where it was interactive and all of you got to participate, and Ben with his cowboy hat and like, listen up, buckaroo, and all that stuff. I'm sure everyone remembers that speech. But that was a forced one. It was dealing with a difficult audience. And then the last one I did was building a social media presence. That day when I gave that speech, the technology worked better for me, and I showed you what I did with our LinkedIn and some of our social media to get the word out and engagement for our club. Which brings us to my final project. And sorry for the extreme close-up here again, Peggy.
Fine.
It's a little choppy, I'm trying to get there. Okay, we got it. So here's what I'm planning for my final project. It's supposed to be an 18 to 22 minute speech, and it's called Speaking Professionally. The group of soldiers that you see here pictured, the lighter camo on your right, that's my crew, the people that work under my area, they're cyber defenders for our Air Force installation. And the darker camo, that's Brazilians. So I'm the New York Guard, so Air and Army components have a state partnership program with Brazil, South Africa, and most recently Sweden. So we do joint training exercises. This is something that the reserve or guard side does, and not so much the active duty component. So we have this thing called the State Partnership Program, and that's what this logo is here through the Department of Defense. In November, I've been invited to attend a seminar called Alamo ACE. I'm not sure what the ACE is, but it's in San Antonio, Texas. That's where I actually went to basic military training a number of years ago. So it'll be kind of interesting to go back, not as a fresh recruit, but as a speaker at this event. But it's to talk about the State Partnership Program and our experience working with the Brazilian military and the cyber subject matter expert exchange that we conducted at our unit about a year ago. So that's my plan for my final project, to go to this conference. It's a 4-day conference, and talk about, these guys you see pictured here, and the exchange of information and the different learning, and then the future opportunities that will come with that. My unit will have an opportunity to go to Brazil and train in country with them, and it's been a pretty rewarding program, so I think I'll have a lot to talk about. That will be a structured speech, and I'm sure I won't be struggling through all the technology issues that we saw today. But that's it about pathways. Once I complete that project, I'll be back in front of this group again, and then the highlighting from all that previous work, I have to report back on what my pathways progress was. So I'll recap all the speeches I gave, and
To us?
5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, I won't run through all the speeches again, but the titles and the
Okay.
feedback and what I thought about it.
Wow.
And then it's done, then I've completed my pathway. And then that's when the next upsell happens, because I got one freebie for pathways. If I want to enroll in a second one, I'll have to pay for that. And I'll be looking into the opportunities that you described.
Okay.
Cool. Any questions about pathways or my pathways journey so far?
It's a lot of fun, right?
That's
It's very
it forced me
worthwhile.
to talk. It forced me to get up in front of the class, and every time, not the class, but the group, and every time Peggy would send out the schedule and kind of be eliciting speakers, it was easy for me to sign up because I had this whole list of 15 speeches I had to get through. So thank you, Peggy, for giving me all those speaking opportunities, and thank you to the group for all the feedback and allowing me to work through this
We
pathway.
were grateful. I was grateful because we knew we always had somebody that would be speaking.
Yeah, so,
Jeremy,
absolutely, yeah.
are you gonna give part of your speech that you're gonna give in November? You're gonna give it at the club?
I don't know because it's long. It's 18 to 22 minutes.
Right.
So I don't think I'll have that opportunity, but I'll be reporting back on it after the fact.
And you'll miss our next meeting because that's the
I may miss
21st.
our meeting because I'll be at that event.
Oh,
Pending the continuing resolution, federal government budget and travel restrictions.
We could put out a tin for your last if we need some extra money.
Yeah, the government doesn't always have money, and it's one of those weird dynamics where I don't have my travel orders to go yet because we're waiting for last year's budget to get finalized. So I'm sure we'll all come together, but yeah, great question. Thanks for asking that.
It's a long speech compared to what we do here.
just encourage you to practice.
Thank you.
Yay.
So that's it for our impromptu talk today. And now we have the fun part. Do we have the table topics master? Is that
Yes.
That's me.
Susan.
Yeah.
All right.
So table topics, I'll let you explain, but hopefully I'll sit this one out because I've been talking a lot today, and thanks for listening.
Table topics is one of my favorite things because the idea behind table topics is to help you to learn to speak impromptu. Very difficult sometimes to speak impromptu if you don't know the subject, you don't know your audience, but this helps you to do it. So what we're going to do today, and hopefully we've got enough time here, you have a choice. There's 5 envelopes here. You can pick an envelope, but you have, and it's got a product, an advertisement inside of it. And you have to pick who you want to present that sales pitch to before you take your envelope. Or you can reach in my box here, and you can pick an item. And you have to describe that item to the group, what it's used for, what you know about the product. Okay? So,
I've got a question. Or I mean,
Yes.
I have a statement. Just in case any of y'all participate and you're not a member, you can make stuff up. You can lie. You can make, because my first one I asked that. So it can be the truth. You can make things up. Doesn't matter.
no, I'd rather you be honest.
Okay. Well, I was told with table topics you could make things up, but yeah,
You absolutely can. And
for the rules.
time-wise, I will look this up at 1.5.
So the object in the box is, say for example, I choose the box, I pick it out, I see what it is, I have to try to explain it to you without telling you a keyword, kind of like.
You can use keywords, whatever you need to explain what it is.
And
But we
Yes,
can
yes,
see,
what
we
it
can
is.
see it or we can't see it.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to pick, you're not gonna be able to look in the box, you just have to reach in.
But I'm not gonna tell you what it is, other than my explanations, and hopefully my explanations are clear enough to get you to tell me what it is? Is that the goal?
Well, you can tell them what it is, I'm not necessarily sure they're gonna know what it's used for, that's your job, to tell them what it's used for. So we're gonna start with you, Mr. Lesko. Would you like an envelope, or would you like to put your name in the box?
Give me an envelope.
Okay. Who would you like to sell this product to?
I'll regret that.
You can sell it to me. I want an envelope too if I can, if there's room.
I'll try
at the
to
end.
sell it to Ben.
Okay, pick an envelope,
I don't care what it is, I'm buying.
Special WSKG on it.
and there you go.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at that.
Are you gonna stand up?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just looking to see what we have.
And I want all of you to know that these products came from a highly specialized
Woman's world.
material.
This is what I have, and this is what I have for you. Ben, you, all your life,
We need a timer. Oh, you got
may not have been in need of this, but you're in very high need of this now because of two factors. Number one, I've seen your bathroom and the mold and the mildew, man, that needs to be cleaned up. So this will give you a nice, fresh, no mildew, easy to clean. And as you see, this is the #1 selling walk-in tub. So when you have, you're getting up there in age, and we, as we all are, and we're not moving quite as smoothly as we used to. You can just slide yourself right in here. You don't need to climb over anything, so it's not dangerous that you're going to fall over. This is for you. What do you think?
When you open the door, doesn't the water come flowing out?
No, because it's going to be a glass door that protects the water from coming out.
Is there a hook on the wall where I can put my cane?
Yes, right next to it. We'll make sure that we put something in place for you.
Excellent, because what I have now really exacerbated my entire lifestyle.
I've been called the master exacerbator before, so what do you think?
I'll take 6.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay. Brent, would you like something from the box or would you like an envelope?
I think I'll take something from the box.
There you go, reach your hand in there. Okay, you have to do, who would you like to describe that to?
I guess I'll describe this to Jeremy.
You have to tell what it is.
He's a
what it's
technical guy.
for.
Do you want to do that?
Okay. So,
You're back to timing.
it may not look exactly like they used to, but this is actually an antenna basically for your television. It allows you to bring in signals over the air. That way you don't have to pay for cable. Of course you do have to pay for this, but this is actually a lot less than your monthly expenditures for cable bills. So you might want to consider buying one of these things for yourself. You can't get the high channels, I have to admit that, but you will get your basic local channels, which is good for you. Want your local news, you want your local sports. Granted, I know most people do a lot of they do a lot of streaming these days, but you can't get your local channels while streaming. So it's a good way to not have to break the bank while also still getting everything you really, really want.
Great.
Yeah.
And it comes complete with dust and cat hair.
I think I've seen that at the dollar store.
Okay, great, thank you very much. Bill, would you like an envelope or an item?
I think I would rather have an envelope, please.
All right, who are you gonna sell this product to?
I'm gonna sell it to Brent.
All right, there you go. Come on down.
Show us what you got.
You're gonna sell this to,
Ooh.
I'll take 6 of those too.
we couldn't see it from here.
The Elvis Timeless Legend Illuminated Glass Dome Collection. Now, Brent, I know you are a master of trivia. You save so many trivia games at many locations, especially here at WSKG, to help educate you on some more trivia that's probably before your time. I remember Elvis Presley. He actually sang at the Veterans Memorial Arena a week before he died. There are a lot of performers who have sung at the arena and then died subsequently. And if you have one of these, it will increase your knowledge of music of the 1950s and 60s. You should really consider getting one of these. If you get one, you'll be even a better master at trivia than you are right now. Take one.
Very good. Okay.
What do you think, Brent? Would you bought them? Bought it?
It's
I
pretty.
mean, not that version of Elvis, but
He kind of looks like Elvis.
It's not available in any store.
that's the Vegas Elvis.
Just slick the hair back a little bit, you'd look spitting image.
Would our guests like to try?
I'll try, sure.
Would you like something from the box or from an envelope?
I'll go with the box.
The box, okay.
Here's one.
Hey, can't see.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Two objects.
there you go.
Oh.
You get to describe what it is, what it's used for.
And I don't have to pick anybody.
You what?
I do have to pick somebody
Yep.
still?
Anybody, to
Catherine,
the
can I
group.
pick you?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you come closer. This is a small object, so I will come closer so you can visually see this. This is what we call a staple remover. It'll help you remove, you will not poke yourself, you will not bleed anymore as you remove staples from bundles of paper. It's easy one click, easy storage. Do people really use these anymore?
I think so.
Oh.
I can see how it's used. Can you demonstrate?
Sure. Oh, yeah, okay. So it's one click, pull, and there you go. You have your two pieces of paper, and your garbage can be easily disposed without any pricking, poking, bleeding. Would you like to purchase?
How much are they?
$1.99.
Do they come in different colors? I kind of like purple.
Not today, but possibly in the near future.
If I wanted to order just two, could you get it to me in purple polka dots?
Sure. Customer's always right.
Custom. What if I cut myself? Do you have some sort of
It is
insurance?
used at your own risk.
Use at your own risk.
And it is made in China.
It is made in China?
Yeah.
Do you have any that are, I'll take it any color if it's made in the US. Do you have any made in the US?
I'll have
Does
to
Raymond
research
make
that.
those?
Hang on. It's now made in the U.S. It is made in the U.S.
Then I'll take 20 to share with my
Huh.
club
Ma-
peers.
Made in China.
Yeah, I wanna. Woo-hoo. Nice job.
Does it double as a forklift?
Yeah. Can't get it out with that. You get the forklift
All
out.
right, we still got a little time here. Catherine,
Yes.
envelope or box?
I was gonna take an envelope, but I want the box, please.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sell to you.
Oh.
Ooh, this is big. Check. Ooh. Okay, it's a hand turbine AM FM weather radio. Is this really in here? Want to sell it back to me? Okay,
You become a member, you get one.
member of what? Oh, WSKG?
What?
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, I'm ready, set, go. So Susan, this is such a wonderful brand new product. It just came out. I was the lead designer on it. It's a hand turbine AM FM weather radio with the recent hurricanes.
Turbine? You mean
Turbine.
a crank?
Yes, you crank it. So the wonderful thing about this is you're aware of the most recent hurricanes. I've got relatives down there. They lost all power. My nephew didn't know how to figure out what weather was coming. So if he had had one of these, which I might get him as a gift, you can crank it up. You don't have to
join
bring a power.
WSKG and get one.
Yes, I'm thinking about joining WSKG. It's approved by the American Red Cross. American Red Cross does a lot of great work. They're involved, and right now the Red Cross, as we had talked about earlier, they have a lot of people that are deployed to help the hurricane victims. So it's a handy thing to have, and you don't have to necessarily listen to the weather portion of it. You can, do you ever listen to AM, FM radio?
Can I get
Here.
Spotify on it?
You can't get Spotify on this, but one of the beauties of this is it's going back to AM, FM radio, what started out as being something I listened to radio classics.
WSKG, I can get that.
Exactly. So you don't need to have Spotify. There are a lot of wonderful things that you can listen to here. I listen to Gunsmoke now on Radio Classics and Sirius XM. Maybe they have it on WSKG. But you can use it when there's not bad weather. You can use it as a regular little radio. It's portable. You can fit it in my purse. I don't know if your purse you could fit it in. But it's a wonderful gadget. What are you thinking? Would you like to get one for yourself? Maybe do you have relatives that live in zones of the United States?
I have a
where they
daughter
get-
lives in Charleston, right on the
Oh,
water, so I might
ooh.
get her that.
Yeah, okay, this would make a nice Christmas present. How many would you like to order? Maybe do you have other children?
I have another daughter who lives up in Buffalo in blizzard territory. So
Okay.
one for each of you.
One for each. Would you like one for yourself?
No, I can just go to the storage room and get one at work.
Okay, sold to the lady in the back.
And you can get one from the WSKG member.
How much do I have to give to get that?
The yearly membership is $60 and it gets you
Okay.
everything under the passport. Okay, we still have another time to do another one?
We've got Peggy.
Peggy,
I can't give her one of the,
she can.
He could open it up, I guess.
huh?
She can probably pick one of the envelopes, like fan them out for her.
Do you want to pick an envelope?
Or the box.
Just pick one, sure.
Okay. Here, I'll let you pick one.
All right.
There's one.
Peggy,
for you.
I'm off screen, but I'm picking one for you. I'll hold it up to the camera.
Who are you gonna sell this to?
It's a beauty.
I will sell it. What is it?
Wait a minute. You gotta pick who you're gonna sell it to
Is
first.
it a camel? Oh no.
It's a,
So
I
you
don't know, you better read the title.
I didn't see the picture, but I don't.
Well, I think it's
Yeah,
a,
read the title, under graceful beauty, what does it say?
it's a statue?
Who are you gonna sell it to?
Figurine.
Oh, it's a figurine.
Of some sort.
No, Jeremy.
You're gonna sell it to me?
What's the saying for graceful beauty?
I'm not.
Why don't you just read it from the piece of paper, she can see it.
New figurine debut from artist Nene Thomas.
Okay, so it's a figurine.
So yeah, it's a figurine.
It's a horse with butterflies and a long mane. Its new figure debut, delicately detailed with sculptured butterflies, bridal shines with metallic accents. Mane and tail boast braided detailing. Jeremy will like this. He'll take this to Brazil with him.
Okay, so it's figurine. Jeremy, you are going to Texas. I hope you bring your hat. I hope you bring your furs, and I hope you plan on visiting the rodeo when you're there. So when you are there, I hope after you give your presentation to your colleagues, then you can go out to the rodeo, you can do a little horseback riding, you can show your roots because this is where you came from, and then you would have this figurine. I mean, I'm sure it'll have lots of butterflies on it, but that's because you're diverse. That's okay. And then you can have something to go back home with, because maybe you can even have some pictures, put it in a picture box that has pictures of your colleagues around it. But it's a tremendous memento to have when you come to San Antonio, especially when you go to the Alamo and all that type of thing. So I hope you would consider this. It's porcelain. It could be something that you can give your daughter. I think I remember quickly your daughter.
Yes, that's right.
What do you think? It could fit. It could be easily checking your luggage, and then you can, have a memento in your San Antonio days. What do you
Yeah,
think?
sold. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good job.
I'll take 6 so I can get to my friends.
Do we have time for one more to get Ben a chance?
We're
Kind of way behind schedule, but if we just knock off some of the stuff at the end, we could.
Envelope or box?
Oh, box, please.
What's that?
Anybody have anything to say about the speeches?
We weren't gonna ask, but if we have time, we can ask. Kind of.
Oh, Ben's picking a goodie.
I know. Trouble is, I don't have any feeling in my hand.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, this thing. Many of you do not realize that I spent 4 years in medical school. And when I was in medical school, you got to see some pretty miserable things when I was doing my internship. This is used for fire victims. When you have a fire victim that comes in, you have to debride the skin. So this is a special tool, and you have to sedate the people, because the first time I tried this, the people were not sedated. And when you're scraping their abdomen, their crusty abdomen with this tool, the screaming, even the pregnant lady down the hall quit screaming because she wondered what was going on. So usually I've discovered that you must sedate fire victims before you use the debrier. Now, little ones you can use, if it's just a mild burn with just the blistery stuff, For that, we just use duct tape. But for the major burns, this is the tool of preference. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
I don't know what to say.
Don't get burned.
Thank you, Susan. That was, as always, a great round of table topics. And thank you everyone for your participation. Really good stuff.
Nice job.
So we'll move on to Ben. He'll briefly run through the.
I did pass out voting things.
General evaluation, and then
Yeah, you can
one about
vote.
voting.
The little piece of paper, guess, is to vote on your favorite.
Here's one for Jeremy. I didn't
Yeah,
do
I
it.
tore mine.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So vote on your favorite,
For the overall general evaluation,
Yeah, just
the room is very comfortable. We appreciate WSKG, and it's a wonderful place, nice lighting, comfortable. Not much of an echo because they got these foamy blocks everywhere, which takes the echo out. We did the walk in the tub. That was a nice presentation.
presentation?
No.
just table topics.
The person that,
Ah.
table top.
Impromptu.
Many times, when someone's speaking either table topics or their regular speech, sometimes people get a little flustered and exasperated. But today, there was not much exasperation going on. So it was really good. Is that?
Still the wrong word, but you're fine.
Exacerbate. Exacerbate, right?
Yeah, but you
It's
can say-
exacerbate, just like I said 3 times.
Okay.
But everything went pretty well, and I appreciate all the participation. Everybody just walking in and boom, you grab something and do it. And we did the walk in the tub, we did the TV antenna, Elvis's glass domes, the staple puller. You have to be careful with staple pullers, which doubles as a forklift. My grandson just stapled his finger, and his mother's a nurse. So they send me the picture of a staple, and I said, oh, yeah, pull it out. They went to the walk-in to get a staple pulled out of his finger. And his mother's a nurse that used to work at the walk-in. But he didn't want his mama to pull it. Anyway, and the weather radio.
How
Why
about
didn't they
teammates?
just scrape
How about
it
your
out?
teammates? Did they have anything? The team
What?
members that reported?
Oh, yeah, we're going to. Timer, Mr. Timer?
Yes, for speeches, Catherine, after your 4-minute prologue, it was a 3:20 speech. Jeremy, after a 2-minute prologue, it was a 5-minute, 20-second speech. So both, thank you for that. Table topics, Ben, you were 55 seconds, Bill, 55 seconds, Kristen, 1 minute, 5 seconds. Both Catherine and I had some good give and take people, so Catherine, you were 2 minutes, Peggy, 1 minute and 15 seconds, and the last one was 1 minute and 8 seconds.
And you were 123.
23, that's because I had a good give and take. The goal is to be able to, of course this was a little bit different, but the goal is to be asked a question, be able to speak somewhere, but at least a minute long. So, just about everybody did that, so congratulations.
The next on my list, where the list went, is grammarian, word of the day. Do we have a grammarian, or we just word of the day?
Yes, it's exasperated.
Ah,
Exacerbate.
yeah, did anybody do a count on that? But
I'm
Never
not
mind.
sure if he was
Never
counting yes, Bill was our word of the day person.
You want.
I only heard it once.
Yeah.
well, he said it one time too.
I said, I don't know, I said exacerbator.
Yeah,
That was close.
it's just a,
It's
yeah.
closer
I don't know
than,
if that's a real
I
word.
really didn't use it.
It was creative.
Exacerbate your wallet.
Yeah.
With your cable bills, I should have used it there.
And ah counter, do we have any ahs?
we did have.
Yes, the first speaker was Catherine. She had an ah and 3 so's, kind of like the word so, and she had an anyway. When I say, I don't need to point out the so's, Catherine, because everybody seemed to like that word today. Jeremy had 4 ahs, 4 ums, kind of the same category, and 4 so's, which is a little bit longer. Brent had 4 ahs or ums and 3 so's. Brent only had 1 so. Bill had a Kristen, is it Kristen or Emily? Kristen?
Kristen.
Okay, had an off, and Catherine, as a table topics, he had repeated "can you can," and another couple so's, and I didn't count myself, and Ben just had it on. Or not.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. And the table topic master?
Bill, you are our winner.
Whoa! Elvis.
And just for that, you need to buy Brent the Elvis.
Yeah.
I'll give you that form afterwards, okay?
And I return the control back to the Toastmaster.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
Ben.
for the recap, Ben, and everyone for your participation. This concludes our meeting. We're at right about 1 o'clock. I know we started late, but thanks for working with us through this different than usual format. Peggy, thanks for being with us and sticking through the technology things as we got you patched onto the screen. So happy to have you. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks Jeremy for doing that.
Thank
Wait,
you.
do we have any feedback
Oh.
from the guests or any questions? You guys have, Brent and Bill, you've been here a couple times. Kristen, did you have any?
I think it was very informative, it's interesting, so if welcome, I think I'll participate in the future if possible.
Please.
Where's your office? Where do you?
So I actually am remote because I travel the
Okay.
Atlantic region, but I do, if I have to go to the office, I go to Green.
All right, so this isn't out of your way from.
No, I live in Schneider Bridge, Schneider Forks.
Okay.
We'd love to have a new member.
So I do have one question, I know we're over time and today's really shouldn't go over time, but how do you get, like I've been here 20 years, graduated BU, stayed in town. I've never heard of this group before. Is there, other than somebody in North Carolina that I watched speak really well and I asked her how did you get to where you're at professionally, personally? She told me Toastmasters, so I got looking up and found that there was this group. How do you advertise locally? There's a lot of good businesses in our area, shockingly, that we can get more people or even let people know about it.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to tap into and figure out ourselves.
I mean, I Googled it and I got two,
Yeah.
but if I am on LinkedIn, but I didn't see it there or anything, but.
There used to be a number of clubs, but I think what happened is during COVID, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of clubs dissipated. And we actually did Zoom during COVID, and we came back together. But many of the clubs, I think, disbanded during COVID.
And a lot of them do it twice a month. We only do it once a month, as I was told, because we have such a small group. And if we're doing real speeches, it's tough unless we have somebody like Jeremy that volunteered to do. Greg, when I first got here, you were doing them quite a few. So it's tough to spread the wealth around.
There are still a couple of clubs that do pretty much strictly Zoom. One is up at BU. That's good, but it's got its limitations.
Yeah.
And there is, the
Morning
largest club
nights.
is morning nights.
Right.
Yep.
When do they meet? You meet?
Seven.
They meet on
That's the
Fridays,
one I saw.
Yes.
Friday morning, 7 o'clock.
7 a.m. every other Friday.
No, they seem to have a
And we have a Facebook page and a LinkedIn page. And we get them flourished, because you're from ones. We have the radio station, we have the, rolling marquee on TV, and have it, or maybe we can put a flyer in places where, well, that's it, like Dr. Post, like during the church.
And if you end up joining, if I were still working, I mean, I reached out to one of my friends that I thought might want to join because he does a lot of speaking. If you were to join, you could reach out to other people in your company. You don't have to, but it's an opportunity to do that. Ben, I think, grabs people in Target and stuff and rams his grocery cart into them and just says, "Hi, my name's Ben. Would you like to come to improv?" Or
It's
would
ice
you like-"
cream in a park bench and talk to people.
Yeah.
Said something about me.
Yeah, but it's good to.
No, cool. No, this has been great. I appreciate it. And I look forward to coming back.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
See ya.
Bye, Peggy.
Yep.
Good luck, safe
Good seeing you. Did you, you're gonna get an invite, because we have a great event coming up in November.
Oh, I did. I got a con.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Natasha's gonna speak about her vision, where we're going. There's a lot of things.
I'll try to make it. I do have it definitely.
Yeah, you too.
I might be able.
Take care. Thanks for participating.
Good.
Enjoy that new Elvis
Did you
clothes.
get some information?
Yep, got it all.
Okay, perfect.
Ben went through it this morning. so-
Anyone like a nice, this is real literature.
Thanks. Looks.
Yeah. No, thank you.
That's where I got my advertisements from.
Yeah.
Quickly, Kevin, I got to run.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the referral.
Oh, she said she met with you, and I'm like, oh, I know him.